JEE IAS, UPSC optional batch for public administration. Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. Good afternoon, Abhinav. Good afternoon, Pranav. So, once again, this is my Telegram channel, people. This is where you can send in your answers, you can ask your doubts, etc. Now, before I head on with our discussion with regard to Mary Parker Foley, the remaining few topics, we'll be probably winding up this thinker today. Any doubts you have, any questions so far? See, I understand some of you at least will be feeling, why is he reading out from the PPT? Why is he not giving too much of explanation, etc.? The reason I will tell you, when we talk about thinkers, there are certain technical words which we are supposed to use in our answer. And paper 1 is all about how public administration evolved. So, in such a scenario, we are largely dealing with what? We are dealing with the history of PubAd. That is the truth. So most of the things, whatever you're going to see is what? It's history. So history means there is very limited things that we can explain here. क्यों वो लोग ने उस जमाने ऐसे सोचा? क्योंकि वो जमाना ऐसा था. So our only job of dealing with thinkers is to understand कि किस हद तक आज ये relevant है. आज के जमाने में किस हद तक ये relevant है? That is the only thing that we have to see. Getting the point here, people? Good afternoon, Lipika. Good afternoon, Sakshi. So I'm heading forward to the next topic, concept of power, authority and control. So one thing we know about Mary Parker Foley so far is that A, she believed in what? She actually believed in integration. Then the law of situation. Situation के हिसाब से only the authority should come. उस सिचुएशन में काम जो कर रहा है या फिर जो काम करने के लायक है, he should take control of the job. That is what she has told. And she has told that basically what? Integration is much, much better than domination and compromise. This is what we have understood so far. Now, यहां पर भी तो question what I'm going to ask is, अब ऐसे इंसान जो कह रहा है कि मिलकर काम करो, whatever problems you have, discuss it out, find it out, break it down, resolve it, and authority should come from situation. इस इंसान का concept of power क्या होगा? Just anybody, any guess? I'll give you 2 minutes time. Any guess here? कि what will be her concept of power? Authority and control ठीक है, power एक बार समझ में आया तो you will understand. So what will be her concept of power then? Will she talk about domination, like not like power over the people, or will she talk about power with people? लोगों के ऊपर पावर इंपोज करना या पावर बांटना? What will she focus on? Power with people. Nobody has a doubt over it. Khyati, correct. Lipika, correct. So that means, in other words, you have understood what is Fole. So without any further delay, let us look into her concept here. According to Fole, power might be defined as simple ability to make things happen, to be a causal agent, to initiate change. Make things happen, a causal agent, initiate change. काम करवाना, to lead to something, to start something, and to start change. This is the idea. Fole clarified the notion of power and made a distinction between power over and power with. Power over, power दूसरों के ऊपर, power with. Power over क्या है? The first one is coercive power, while the latter is coactive power. Power with is a self-developing entity which promotes better understanding, reduces friction and conflict, and encourages cooperative action and promotes participative decision making. मतलब यहां पर क्या है? Don't show your अधिकार. Instead, let us try to get everything in a cooperative level. Getting the point here? That is what is the basic thing here. So generally they will say to lead by example. To lead by example means during COVID time ke dauran, there were many cases were reported where IPS officers were indulging in carrying these rice sack, wheat sack, etc. 20 kilo, 25 kilo ke jo sack jo hai, they are taking it and they are literally taking it and they are going and putting it in the godown. So when the SP is picking it up, will the constables and inspectors stand there and watch the show? No. They will also join. SP आदेश देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. They will go and do it because अरे SP कर रहा है. Getting the point here? That is power with. That is coactive power. Getting the point? Power over when we say, coercive power when we say, simply means SP is giving order. Lathi charge, go. All the cops will go and do it. All of them will go and do it. Why? Because SP has given Adesh. Order aa gaya. That is the difference. And Fole actually advocates for what? Fole advocates for power with and coactive power. Why? Because both of this actually helps in integration. Fole felt that we cannot avoid the power over, but we can reduce the impact. To reduce the power over, Fole has suggested 3 ways. So Fole was a little practical also. Fole को मालूम था कि भाई we cannot avoid power over. लेकिन जितना हो सके उसे reduce करो. Like I told you again, this is not always possible. कभी कभार अगर आप नहीं चाहते हो तो भी you will have to show your power there. Again, now yesterday we saw that she is not a fan of domination. लेकिन we already saw the example of the CEO of Noida Authority. In spite of repeatedly telling them, CCTV camera भी लगवा दिया, सब कुछ लगवा दिया. Ultimately, he had to come there. He had to show his power there. Gave punishment to all of them. Why? Only that will work. Ultimately, that is what will work. Even when you become, let us say Tejas now becomes a officer tomorrow. IPS officer, SP of the district. And for him, the constant headache is, दो police station, एक police station के अंदर, एक inspector, दो inspectors हैं, they don't, what is it, see eye to eye. पूरा टाइम उनकी झगड़ा है, तू मैं करके. Tejas initially will try to see what is wrong. Why are you people doing this? He will try to behave normally. But एक हद के बाद क्या हो जाएगा? Tejas will call both the officers to his office and Tejas will say, देख, I don't care what is the problem between you two. You're getting it solved right here, right now. Otherwise, दोनों का हाथ में मिलेगा suspension. That is coercive power. That is domination. Why? Why people prefer that actually? Same reason. वक्त कहाँ है भैया? सब लोगों के साथ बैठकर बोलो बेटा तेरा प्रॉब्लम क्या है, ये सब जानने के लिए वक्त कहां है। आसान तरीका क्या है? डोमिनेशन, कोर्सिव पावर. सो टू reduce power over, she has suggested three things. कम करवाने के लिए, and what is it? No surprises. Integration, recognizing that all should submit to the law of the situation. मतलब submitting yourself to the law of the situation का मतलब है understand the situation and function accordingly. सिचुएशन को समझकर काम करो. दैट इज व्हाट इट सिंपली मीन्स. अगर सिचुएशन डिमांड कर रहा है कि सब लोगों को मिलकर ही काम करना है, देन एवरीबडी वर्क टुगेदर. So in Japan and all, basically, whenever any earthquake, major earthquake, not the normal ones, major disaster, etc. happens, it is pretty normal for the Japanese president to wear the overall. ओवरऑल का मतलब है जो फायर डिपार्टमेंट में जो पहनते हैं ना, एक सेफ्टी सूट, पूरा हाथ से लेकर पाउंड तक, अ सिंगल यूनिट. सो द जापानीज प्रेसिडेंट ऑल्सो विल वेयर द ओवरऑल, पुट ऑन अ हेलमेट, एंड ही विल ऑल्सो बी पार्ट ऑफ व्हाट, द रेस्क्यू एंड रिलीफ ऑपरेशन. इट इज वेरी नॉर्मल देयर. Co-active power in that society. Whereas in our society, we cannot expect it. Be it the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, what will they ultimately do? Get into a helicopter, travel that area, find it out. Find out what is the damage there. I'm not telling one is great and the other is bad. No. It again depends. ये society के ऊपर भी depend करेगा कि वहां पर क्या काम करेगा, क्या नहीं. Coactive power, can we do it with what is it? Naxals? Can we do it with terrorists? Can we do it with insurgents? Absolutely not. So it depends on the situation again. When she is telling that everybody should understand the situation, Foley also should understand. Her situation mein, we cannot go for coactive power. We can debate, we can discuss, but what if the opposite party is not ready to do any of this? Then you have no other choice other than what? Pull out the gun. Getting the point? Now, in another example, Supreme Court made it very clear now, our doors are always open to the farmers. All right. A Supreme Court appointed committee was also put up to understand the farmers' troubles, etc. But the farmer who is now protesting, doing a hunger strike, he refused to meet even the Supreme Court appointed committee. He's still continuing with the hunger strike. Now, the worst part here is that he's also a cancer patient and he's indulging in hunger strike. Getting the point here? So, this will worsen the things. So, now Punjab government told, no, he's in a hunger strike. We have limitations here. Supreme Court was like, nothing doing. You have to take care of his health. मतलब क्या है? Arrest कर उसे hospital में बिठाना पड़ेगा भी. That's the only way. ना सुप्रीम कोर्ट की सुन रहा है, ना पंजाब गवर्नमेंट का सुन रहा है, किसी का भी नहीं सुन रहा है. What is the only option? Arrest him, get him admitted in a hospital, start giving him medical treatment. That is the only way possible. वहां पर तो coactive नहीं काम करेगा, coercive only will work. Clear? Through making the business more and more functional unity. Functional unity बनाने का मतलब क्या है? Ensuring cooperation at all the levels. ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक everybody should function as a single entity. When you look at it, don't you think this is very, very similar to okay, no need of unity of command. That will be a little too much. Unity of direction. Clear, people? Fowler defines authority as the vested power, and the person with authority has the right to develop and exercise power. Vested power. And the person with authority has the right to develop and exercise power. I'll tell you that. She asserts that authority is something that does not come from ownership or a formal position in an organization. It belongs to the job and stays with the job. Like I told you, authority, according to her, shouldn't come from a formal position. It should come from the job. जो that is काम क्या डिमांड कर रहा है, काम अगर डिमांड कर रहा है कि ये बंदा काम करना है, somebody who knows about it should do the job, means now that person should have the authority. सुनने में अच्छा है, लेकिन इसका प्रॉब्लम क्या है? इस द प्रॉब्लम विद दिस इज will create confusion. Cannot fix responsibility and accountability. सही बात है ना? बिकॉज डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द जॉब, वो अब ये काम है, चलो ठीक है, तो फिर इनको लाओ. ओ वो काम है, तो फिर उनको लाओ. हाउ? बिकॉज एवरी जॉब is not going to be dynamic. There are jobs that are routine. And if according to the job, the person or the authority keeps changing, means, तो जिम्मेदारी क्या होगा? एक व्यक्ति का जिम्मेदारी क्या है? And if something goes wrong, how are you going to fix the accountability? If the authority keeps on changing with the job. This is the issue. Clear? So according to her, authority is something that cannot be delegated, and says that a delegated authority is an obsolete expression. It should begin from the law of the situation and not from bossism. So you cannot delegate authority. Authority आप delegate नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि situation के ऊपर अगर अभी तेजस और या फिर लिपिका काम करना है, so she becomes the authority. बाद में it will be ख्याति, उसके बाद it will be साक्षी. It will keep on changing. So it's an issue to do with district disaster. Lipika will do it because she is the expert. Uske baad, if it is a law and order situation, then Khyati is the expert. Khyati will do it. So aise when you do it, what is she basically telling? She's basically telling that everything will depend on law of the situation, and there is no boss. No bossism. No bossism means automatically another question. तो फिर discipline का क्या? Got the picture here? Responsibility also flows from the function and situation. That is the even more brilliant part. So everything from the situation, responsibility, काम करने का तरीका, everything situation के ऊपर ही depend करेगा. Getting the point here? आगे. Fowler raises the question, for what is he responsible, rather than to whom is he responsible. यानी कि हर व्यक्ति का अपना अपना जिम्मेदारी होना चाहिए based on what their talent is or what their knowledge is. So your talent is this, you will be responsible for this. Your talent is this, you will be responsible for that. Nothing called there will be a person at the top. Nothing like that. She believes in the pluralistic concept of responsibility or cumulative responsibility, and rejects ultimate responsibility and regards it as an illusion. Cumulative. सबका अपना अपना जिम्मेदारी होगा and कुल मिलाकर उसे ऐड करो. That's responsibility. That is how it will be. There is no ultimate responsibility. खुल मिलाकर सबका जिम्मेदारी, सब लोग खुल मिलाकर जिम्मेदारी ले लेंगे, सब लोग खुल मिलाकर काम कर लेंगे. This is the idea. There is no individual fixing there. सब जिम्मेदार है. I am responsible for your work, you are responsible for mine. Like authority and responsibility, control is an important aspect to achieve organization goals. Unlike other classical thinkers, Foley believes in fact control rather than man control, correlated control rather than superimposed control. Again, the same point only. Fact control rather than man control means it will depend upon fact of what? Fact of situation. You will not control any man. ये करो वो करो ऐसा नहीं होगा. Correlated control than superimposed control. ऊपर से ऑर्डर नहीं आएगा. उल्टा, I will try to control you, you will try to control me. You will tell me what is my responsibility, I will tell you what is your responsibility. ऊपर से कोई ऑर्डर वार्डर कुछ भी नहीं है. For her, control in the organization is pluralistic and cumulative. Means basically for her, responsibility, control, both of these are what? Cumulative. Any doubt so far? Planning and coordination. According to Foley, coordination means harmonious ordering of parts. She says that planning is a scheme of self-adjustment and self-coordination of various interests. The process of self-adjustments is possible only through coordination. The principles of coordination as highlighted by Foley are as follows. Coordination means harmonious ordering of parts. Matlab, harmonious ordering of parts means there is complete cooperation between all the entities in an organization. She says that planning is a scheme of self-adjustment and self-coordination. Self-adjustment. खुद adjust करो, खुद coordinate करो, बाकी लोगों के साथ मिलकर काम करने के लिए. The process of self-adjustment is possible only through coordination. Principles of coordination as highlighted by Foley are as follows. Coordination in the early stages. Coordination must start from the early stages of workflow. शुरुआत से ही. It should include the lower level of organization at the policy formulation stage instead of policy implementation. Lower level of organization, policy formulation stage instead of policy implementation. Matlab, many a times what happens is, most of the decisions, okay, so this is one interaction what I had with a police constable. So, today's newspaper, I don't know how many of you have seen, CCTNS system has been made practical in 100% of the police stations in the country. CCTNS means crime and criminal tracking network system. मतलब online जरिए now all the FIR, all the records of all the criminals arrested in any police station Any case is there on them. Everything is online now. All the more than 17,000 police stations are all connected via the CCTNS system. Getting the point here? So, इस system से अभी क्या होगा? One more advantage is there is an AIS system also. This was already in news many years ago, maybe at least 10 years ago. It's automated information system. That means whoever is going to get arrested, henceforth, their Aadhaar number also will be linked when an FIR is being filed. Why? Background verification karte waqt, it becomes very easy. Whether there was any police case before, any outstanding cases are there, any police station in India, you can verify it. Okay? Now, this is the major reforms. Ye zaruri hai. Now, I was interacting with this police constable. He was telling these are all good because it is very good. It has become easy for us. But some things he did not like. And what was it? One of the initiatives was Jan Maitri Police Station, which is implemented in the state of Kerala. So he basically told these IPS officers sitting at the top, they will come out with this all new, nice ideas. Jan Maitri Police Station. What is the idea there? You should treat with respect and speak very properly with the people who come to the police station. So I asked him, what is wrong in that? It is good only, right? Everybody should feel free to come and report a crime to the police station. So he basically told me, see, you don't know the reality. Reality is, people who are really afraid of the police, until and unless something major happens, they won't come to the police station. 90% of the time, the people who are coming to the police station are the criminals. And these criminals now, they are aware of the law. They know now that cops should not treat them with disrespect, cops should not abuse them, should not hit them, that them, this them, etc. अब क्या हो रहा है? डर ही नहीं है. The ordinary criminals like the chore, not big gangsters, the normal ones, small time robbers, murderers, etc. They are not scared of cops anymore. Why? So I was like, so can't you people give a feedback? He said, who is asking our opinion? IPS officers sitting in the capital city or in the headquarters, from there they will say, we are going to come up with this, come up with that. And then they will ask us, go implement it. Where are they taking our opinion? This is a constant trouble because policies are made at the very high stage, political level or at the IPS level, IAS level. But who is executing at the grassroots level? Village officer, tehsildar, or inspectors, constables. They will know the ground reality much better than any IAS or IPS officer because they know the practical difficulty. ऊपर जो बैठे हुए हैं, they don't know about it. So that is why Paula is telling, lower stage of the organization में जो लोग बैठे हुए हैं, उन्हें use करो. कहां पर? Policy formulation stage में ही. Before even you make a policy, take their opinion first. If it starts from the early stages, the organization will benefit from increased motivation and morale, which is true. Because they will also feel, they are hissa, they are part of something big. This principle totally nullifies the concept of central planning. सब ऊपर में होना चाहिए, not needed. You can do it from the bottom level. This is currently happening thanks to the 73rd, 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which brought in PRIs and municipalities. Okay, and central government these days has reduced centrally sponsored schemes, giving more freedom to state governments. All right, people. Coordination by direct control. As per this principle, the responsible person in the organization will directly contact the subordinate irrespective of their position and hierarchy. You will directly contact them and you will discuss things with them. That is the idea. Best example for this is ISRO. ISRO के सक्सेस के पीछे का सबसे बड़ा राज ये है. Because when in the newspaper I was reading it, most of the important decisions actually happens during tea breaks and lunch breaks. And in those tea breaks and lunch breaks, when they sit together and have their chai, samosa, and lunch, etc., sometimes a solution will actually come from a junior scientist. A junior scientist may come out with an innovative idea which the senior scientist may not have thought about. So, इसी कारण, because of that whole mahol there where everybody is integrating and working together, what happens? Yes, the benefit is seen in the organization. Because ultimately, to quote Elon Musk, ISRO is what? It's a government funded body. A government funded body that is working so efficiently, which is able to launch space mission at the lowest price in the world, is a medical miracle. It's a miracle only. But why is it that they are so efficient? Work culture also matters. And because of the fact that junior scientists, they join very early and etc., this open discussion is there. They are all aware of what? All of them are aware about the future projects also of ISRO. That is why if you see, chairman may come and go. Chairmans will come, they will retire, next chairman come, retire. But the missions that are lined up of ISRO, one by one, that will get launched. वहां पर कोई भी stop, nothing is happening. Generally, in any organization, when the head goes away, a new person comes, there is always some gap will be there. Gap as in next projects क्या होगा, जो projects हो रहे थे उनका क्या होगा, all these doubts will be there. Generally, in any government department, not in ISRO. ISRO, the next chairman also who is going to come, it is from the scientists. So he knows, okay, next set of projects क्या है, आने वाला projects क्या है, all of that is planned out. Paul believes that horizontal communication is as important as vertical chain of command. So she's not completely against top-down hierarchy. इतना तो हमें मालूम पड़ गया अभी. Because if she's telling responsible person in organization will directly contact the subordinates means, इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब है you're basically contacting ऊपर से नीचे. So it's a structure. Classical theory. She's not against this completely. And one more reason why I am telling that yes, she's not against this is why she is telling this is important. Vertical chain of communication. ऊपर से नीचे, नीचे से ऊपर. Agreed. But she's also insisting on what? She's also insisting on horizontal communication. Again, for all of this, ISRO is the best example. Clear, people? Coordination as the reciprocal relating of all factors in a situation. The major aim of coordination is to integrate the diverse activities, skills, attitudes, and efforts of organizational members into a harmonious whole. The actions and processes in the organization are interlinked with each other. In this regard, Fowler calls an organization as a system of interrelated parts. Coordination as the reciprocal relating all factors in an organization. मतलब क्या है? Coordination literally ensures what? Unity among different parts of an organization. Integrate diverse activities, skills, attitudes, and efforts of organizational members into a harmonious whole. Different डिपार्टमेंट्स में जितने भी लोग हैं उनको सब साथ में लाकर काम करवा देंगे. A small example to make this understand to you is, see, Ministry of Home Affairs के नीचे you have NIA. Ministry of Finance के नीचे you have Enforcement Directorate. Ultimately, both are what? Both belongs to central government. जहां जहां मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग के इश्यू है, ईडी विल कम. लेकिन ईडी को अगर शक लग गया कि 1 रुपए हैज वेंट इनटू टेरर रिलेटेड एक्टिविटीज या फिर 1 रुपए हैज कम फ्रॉम टेररिस्ट फाइनेंसिंग, ईडी विल अलर्ट एनआईए. And if NIA comes into picture, they feel that okay, so much of money is there, NIA will ask the ED, टेररिस्ट फाइनेंसिंग का जितने भी है वो हम लेकर जाएंगे. बाकी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग का जो भी है वो आप देख लीजिए. कंप्लीट कोऑर्डिनेशन. Getting the point? I don't know how many of you are aware, but a few months back, a coordinated activity was carried out by ED, NIA, and the Central Armed Police Force, raiding the offices and residence of the office bearers of Popular Front of India. It has been a banned organization. Now, most of their people, most of those office bearers have been arrested and put in jail. So, one of the material that has been collected and which was submitted by the reason for denying them bail, etc., by the Delhi High Court was they have literally made a plan of what? Made a plan of converting the whole country into what is it? Islam, as well as taking over the administration of the country by 2050. And all that. They had made a big pamphlet, etc. All that was submitted there and their bail was completely denied. These are all examples of what? Coordination between different entities or units of the central government. Clear, people? Taking it further forward, coordination as a continuing process. Coordination is not a single activity and it is a continuous process in which activity is planned and from activities further planning is made. Foley emphasizes on the need for a permanent machinery to solve the problems in a rational manner. मतलब क्या है? एक दिन का काम नहीं है ये, या 1 घंटे का काम, 1 महीने का, 1 साल का नहीं. इट इज अ कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस टू कोऑर्डिनेट, constantly ensure cooperation. So, Foley is telling that you need a permanent machinery to solve the problems in a rational manner. That is, exclusively you should have a body or a platform to ensure that problems are rectified. There are no problems. Few examples we can see in this regard again. One again, it would be the GST Council. It's a platform where states and center, it's a forum for the center and states to meet and basically tell their problems with associated with GST key, what is it, implementation, any issues what they have. Similar to that, we also have what? The Interstate Council. Clear, people? Next topic, leadership. Any questions, people? Any doubts? According to Foley, leadership is a crucial management skill that involves understanding the broader context of situations, guiding transitions, and energizing the group. Just give me a minute here. Okay. And energizing the group. Understanding the broader context of situations, guiding the transitions, and energizing the group. पूरा पिक्चर समझ लो, जोश दे दो, जुनून दे दो. And guiding transitions, that means guiding transitions means जब भी कोई change हो रहा है, बदलाव हो रहा है, guide your team towards the change. She emphasizes that leaders should be functional and supportive rather than authoritarian, focusing on encouraging initiative and drawing out best from each member. Again, the same thing. Leaders should be functional and supportive rather than authoritarian. Again, coactive power, power with, same concept. A leader, according to Foley, demonstrates how order integrates into the situation and performs three key functions: coordination, defining purpose, and anticipation. Order integrates into the situation. Matlab same thing. Be it discipline, be it authority, be it responsibility, be it control, सबका सब she only talks in one term, which is what? Situation के ऊपर छोड़ दो उसे. So whatever discipline you want to talk about, discipline will be, if you ask Foley, तो discipline का क्या? वो भी situation के ऊपर depend करेगा. Situation में जो वो काम कर सकते हैं, that person will ensure discipline is there. The team will ensure each other, they will ensure self-discipline, overall discipline will happen. That is what she keeps telling. Getting the point? Now we know it very well. This may be true. कहां पर? छोटे छोटे startups में maybe it is true. Small countries also this is true to an extent. But if the company is huge, country is big, country is diverse, then you will have a problem. She notes that leaders are made through education and training rather than being born, and that leadership involves a reciprocal relationship with the group termed circular response. She distinguishes between the following three types of leadership: leadership of position, leadership of personality, leadership of function. So what she is telling is, you can make leaders through what? Education and training. Leaders are not born. They can be trained. Correct training there, you can make a leader. Next thing what she's telling is about a reciprocal relationship between leader and his members. The circular response. So you have leader, you have the group, अगर लीडर सपोर्टिव है, सपोर्टिव फंक्शनल है, group also will show what? The group will be innovative and they will also be functional. They will also do the job. That is what she is telling. And she defines three types of leadership. Leadership of position. One who holds a position of formal authority. Example, bureaucracy. You all hold the position of collector because by law you are appointed there. By law. Leadership of personality, because of your personality qualities. What I told you yesterday, charismatic leadership. Getting the point here? Forceful personal qualities. बात करने का तरीका, चलने का तरीका, उठने का तरीका, बैठने का तरीका, all of that. Leadership of function holds both position and personality. Function means position भी है, अधिकार भी है, और उसके साथ personality भी है. Because they are having both of it combined, they can get any work done. Getting the point here? अधिकार भी है उनके पास, साथ में उनका personality भी इतना strong है, they can get any work done. Foley argues that effective leadership in modern organizations depends on functional knowledge rather than formal authority or personality. She asserts that the man possessing the knowledge demanded by a certain situation tends to become the leader. Success in an organization requires flexibility to enable knowledgeable individuals to fully exercise leadership and manage situations effectively. मतलब functional knowledge is the key. क्या आप जानते हो ये काम कैसे करना है? Then you are the leader for that situation. Same thing what I have been telling you since the start of our class. Law of situation only means उस situation में किसके पास वो नॉलेज है, ज्ञान है, वो काम करने के लिए, दैट पर्सन बिकम्स द लीडर नाउ. सिर्फ उस सिचुएशन के लिए, काम खत्म, लीडरशिप भी खत्म. सो एवरीथिंग कम्स डाउन टू व्हाट? मैन पोसेसिंग द नॉलेज, नॉट फॉर्मल अथॉरिटी, नॉट योर पर्सनैलिटी. So success in an organization requires flexibility to enable knowledgeable individuals to fully exercise leadership and manage situations effectively. That is the next thing. People who are having the knowledge, allow them to function freely so that for that situation, they can show their capability. उस situation में, okay, there is a cyber threat now, or let us say Pranav is the IPS officer there. Pranam is from a non-technical, non-engineering background. So he saw some issue is there. Then suddenly one constable tells him, sir, I have passed out from IIT. That is also there, okay. That crazy thing will happen once you join the service, you will realize. There will be people who are from IIT, NIT, working as police constables or even as inspectors. ठीक है. So वो IITs है. You are like, what? हाँ sir, I think I can handle this. What will you do? Pranav will basically tell what? Then please come and take over. Because as far as Pranav is concerned, what? काम खत्म होना चाहिए. कौन कर रहा है? He doesn't care. Because ऊपर ऑफिसर है, उसको जवाब देना पड़ेगा. So as SP, what he will do? You know how to handle this. Come sit, do it off, get the work done. And जैसे काम खत्म होता है, Pranav will just call a superior, senior superintendent of police, and he will say, sir, the job is done. SSP is not going to ask you, how did you do it? Who did it? Nothing. SSP also only wants to know, हो गया ना, बस खत्म. Maybe he or she will ask, कैसे हुआ? किसने किया? But ज्यादा से ज्यादा SSP will only ask, हो गया ना, बस खत्म. That's it. This is how in bureaucracy also sometimes work will get done. Because ultimately in bureaucracy also, if you see, sometimes when it is a totally new situation, they will be literally ready to take suggestion from anywhere. वहां पर they won't even look at hierarchy, they won't even look at the position, nothing. You know the work, come do it. That's how it is. But routine मामलों में we need discipline, we need order, we need a clear hierarchy, we need to fix positions, we need to fix responsibility. तो वहां पर ये काम नहीं करेगा. Clear? Excuse me, people. Finally, with that we have wound up MPF. Now we will look into evaluation. Mary Parker Foley, a specialist in administrative theory, focused on individuals within organizations. Her major contributions include insights into conflict, orders, power, authority, control, and leadership. She emphasized managing and overcoming conflict, viewing organizations as social systems prone to conflict rather than cooperative ones. To address this, she introduced the concept of constructive conflict, whatever we have seen yesterday. In contemporary context, concepts such as giving orders, power, authority, responsibility, leadership are increasingly relevant. That is the first and foremost highlight. Like I told you, whatever she told, we are not disagreeing with it. But the fact of the matter is, who has the time to sit and find all this? And in any organization, if you see, you have a classical structure format. Somebody at the top, somebody in the middle, somebody at the bottom. Even if you take Indian constitution also, you will find what? Central government at the top, state at the middle, and Panchayati Raj institutions or municipalities at the bottom. That is how it is everywhere. And we, in our constitution also, we are basically told what? India has a centralized form of government. Why? Center has more powers. And India is a indestructible union of destructible states. States can be destroyed at will. स्टेट का बाउंड्री भी ऑल्टर कर सकते हैं, स्टेट का नाम भी बदल सकते हैं, एक स्टेट को छोटा कर सकते हैं, बड़ा कर सकते हैं कि भाई स्टेट कैन सिंपली बी डिस्ट्रॉयड आल्सो. The union government is all capable of doing it. Getting the point here? Residuary powers also we have given it to the center only. Center has the power to dismiss the state government also and impose president's rule. Why we have done that? Why we have given so much of power to the center? Discipline. That is the main reason, to ensure some sense of order in the country. क्योंकि इतना diversity है यहाँ पर, if we don't have a strong central government, things would have gone haywire. अब तक 1947 से 2024 के अंदर India as a country wouldn't have existed. Everything would have become what? Every other state would have become independent. Clear, people? While some regard Foley as a classical thinker, others argue that her ideas are far from classical. She criticized classical theory for its one-sided, mechanistic approach and neglect of psychological aspects. However, her own administrative and management theories also faced criticism. Foley faced criticism for overlooking the social nature and processes involved in organizational management. Her ideas on integration were deemed illusory and was accused of not scientifically interpreting the social aspects of organizations. क्या है ये? Overlooking social nature. आसान है क्या लोगों को मिलाकर काम करवाने के लिए? I told you, within our own family sometimes, as you keep growing up, it will happen, especially in Indian families and all, you will generally see that the sense of conflict will only increase. It is not going to decrease. At every stage, the drama, the nonsense, whatever is there, unnecessarily worried about this person may think like this, वो क्या सोचेंगे हमारे बारे में, all that, it is only going to increase. From where integration is possible? Getting the point here. Now, very recently, the actress, film actress Samantha, I don't know how many of you know about her. She has acted in, I think, a couple of Hindi web series and all. But she made a statement that her father always used to belittle her, always telling her that you're not so great, you're not so good enough. Even when she brought 90%, etc. for her school or school time and all, always he used to keep her, snub her, telling that you're not so great and all, you're not such a smart student, you're not such a bright student. Now, when you keep doing, now that is how he's been treating his daughter. Now, people who will support that behavior will say, no, he was trying to keep her down to earth. He was trying to make her understand that she should work even more harder, all that. But that is actually, it only leads to what? A lack of confidence, a lack of a feeling always that I am not good enough. That is what it will end up creating. Correct. between two people, this many issues. Between a father and a daughter itself, this many issues. In a large company, you will only have issues. वहां पर बैठकर, from where are you going to ensure that integration will happen, etc. will happen? I went to SBI once, SBI branch, many years ago when I was a student. So I had gone there to inquire about the educational loan or something. First I went to one table. So he said, this is not here, this is there in that table. Then I went there. Then that fellow there told, no, this is not here, it is that table. That is the first table where I went. I'm like, from there only I'm coming. No, you go there only. Again I went to him. Then that fellow raised his voice, the first fellow. He was like, I told you not to go there. I said, he sent me here. I was very calm. Then he said, go there only, that is his responsibility. I'm like, okay. Went there again. Now that fellow again told, no, it is his responsibility. Now I got angry. I raised my voice. I said, what is happening here? Either you both decide whose work it is, or tell me who is the manager, where is the manager, call the manager, I will get it done. So the second table fellow, he took out his official notepad or something. He wrote this thing over there, put a signature on it, tore it, and he said, go and give it to that first table only. He made it official. Karo ye kaam. Order. That first table fellow, you should have seen, his face was red with anger. मेरे ऊपर नहीं, उसके ऊपर. And with complete bitterness, he somehow did my work and he gave it off. And then he just got up from the table and he walked out. Did integration work there? Domination. Using your authority. So, what she talked about integration is often considered to be grandmotherly wisdom. दादी माँ की प्यार, दादी माँ की सोच और विचार, मिलकर काम करो, प्यार में रहो, all that won't work in real life. And she never did any experiment per se. Elton Mayo did the Hawthorne experiments. That is how he came with his theory. All right. Bernard and Simon also, they had some semblance, they had some idea. Okay, organizations work like this. They also did their own set of research, etc. Yahan par nothing. Whatever she observed, she wrote down. That's it. She did not conduct any experiment, nor did she conduct any study, nothing. What she observed, she gave solutions for it. That's it. Based on mere observation. That is why we say that her ideas were deemed illusory and was accused of not scientifically interpreting the social aspects of organization. Because scientifically, if you start studying it, it will be one Pandora's box only. Because each person will have some trouble. हर एक इंसान के पास एक नया मुसीबत होगा. सबका मुसीबत आप कैसे solve करोगे? This is almost like the incentive what Bernard told, satisfaction, contribution, equilibrium में. He basically told to give maximum satisfaction. अब किसी को जॉब सैलरी ज्यादा चाहिए, किसी को पोजीशन चाहिए, किसी को बड़ा टेबल चाहिए, किसी को बड़ा ऑफिस चाहिए, किसी को और कुछ चाहिए. सबकी इच्छाएं, how are you going to satisfy? That is why all over the world, only one incentive is given after 1 year, which is what? Money. Because 90% of the people wants money. Money is there, their problems also will get solved. Money is the universal code for what? Providing incentive. Promotion, etc. it is there, I don't deny it. But maximum it is what? Pesa. Similarly, the social relation aspect also, you don't know what is the social. The relationship will keep varying from individual to individual. How are you going to fix it? Getting the point here. According to Baker, Foley's writings lack systematic organization, making them inconsistent and difficult to understand with unclear theoretical foundations and integration. Very, very true. She keeps on talking about integration. Where is the theory here? मिलकर काम करो. कैसे? Anticipate the conflict. कैसे? Resolve the conflict, bringing out differences. Steps were nothing. She talks it as if all these are very, very, very easy. That is not the case. Foley lacked an institutional base, and Drucker and Cantor argued that her focus on cooperation, negotiation, conflict resolution, and consensus was out of step with the realities of her time, including war period. So true, right? When war is going on, can we say, let us cooperate, let us try to resolve this conflict? We'll only try to end it. Take now the whole Israel-Hamas issue that is going on. Now Syria, part of Syria has been again captured by Israel. Getting the point here, because Israel is in no mood to back down. Unlike our opposition in our country, Israel, even if tomorrow the government changes, the opposition also will continue with the same policy. And which is that you're not going to, if a Jewish blood drops, we are not going to forgive you. That is the attitude that the state is maintaining. And that is the only reason Jewish state has remained there. Imagine, surrounded completely by Arab nations. One Jewish state is there in Middle East. One Jewish state. And they have survived for so long, not because of integration, not because of compromise, just domination. Sheer military, tactical, strategic, plus external domination, spy network using Mossad. Clear? Additionally, some have suggested that her ideas may have been dismissed in part due to her being a woman. That some people would have dismissed it because she was a woman. But if you look at her ideas also, we are not dismissing it entirely. It is true, मिलकर अगर काम करोगे तो बेहतर है. लेकिन practical aspects में, especially in international politics, if you see, it has very limited application. In a law and order situation, very limited application. Clear? Any doubts, people? So, very quickly, she gave organization is a social system. We should go for constructive conflict. 3 ways to resolve conflict: domination, compromise, integration, in which she supported integration. How to do integration: expose the differences, break up the whole, articulation of the whole, and finally anticipation of conflict. Effective integration requires high intelligence, keen perception, discrimination, and inventiveness. What are the obstacles? People are generally adjusted to the idea of dominative behavior because it is easy, and they enjoy domination because it gives them a kick. Trying to make a huge issue out of the problem by theorizing it, language, undue influence of leaders, and finally lack of training. Law of the situation: 4 basic principles in giving an order: conscious attitude, responsible attitude, experimental attitude, and pooling of the results. How to change attitude: build up of certain attitude, providing for release of the attitude, then finally augmenting the released attitude. How to form habits: desirable habit, change the rules. Few people should be convinced to develop the desirable habit, then put it in practice. Depersonalize the orders to avoid bossism. Power over, coercive power, power with, coactive power. To reduce power over, follow law of situation, integration, and making the business a functional unity. Delegated authority is an obsolete expression because authority comes from situation. You cannot delegate authority. Cumulative responsibility, then ultimate responsibility. Cumulative responsibility plus cumulative control also. Fact control rather than man control, correlated control than superimposed control, The principle of coordination, early stages, direct control, reciprocal, and continuous. Functional leaders and authoritative leaders. Three critical functions of a leader are coordination, definition of purpose, and anticipation. Anticipation means waiting for future events. आगे का क्या होगा? That one. Leadership of position, leadership of personality, and leadership of function. Take a 10-minute break and then we will do the previous year questions. 3:15 we'll be back. All right, people. Paule's work was not directed towards the resolution of the conflict of ideas, but towards the resolution of structural conflicts between workers and capitalists. In the light of the statement, critically evaluate Paule's idea of dynamic administration, 20 marks 2015. Paule's ideas work was not directed towards resolution of conflict of ideas, but towards resolution of structural conflicts between workers and capitalists. बस एक ही सेंटेंस है प्रसाद एंड प्रसाद के बुक में, where you have the entire thinkers के बुक है प्रसाद एंड प्रसाद, वहां पर बस एक ही सेंटेंस है which actually tells us that she didn't distinguish between private and public administration, and nowhere in our discussion she has ever said private ho public ho, ऐसा she has not said. In fact, the core of her idea, if you actually see, has always been what? Conflict. And she basically told conflict will be there in any organization. Conflict is a given. So conflict has to be used what? Constructively. This is what she has told. All right, this is what they have told. But here, this is somebody's interpretation again. अब ये किसने कहा है नहीं कहा है, that is not relevant to us. ये स्टेटमेंट को रखे हुए क्रिटिकली इवैल्यूएट पॉले's आइडिया ऑफ डायनामिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. डायनामिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए क्या करना है? तो एज यूजुअल व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू डू, इंट्रो में एमपीएफ कौन था, ठीक है. देन बॉडी में one sentence you will have to write, she never differentiated between private and public. She only talked about, so no differentiation between private and public. Then conflict is there in every organization, these two. For dynamic situations, Paule's idea of dynamic administration. Dynamic administration के साथ क्या करना है? What did she say? In any dynamic administration, you will have conflict. So, how to resolve it? Constructively. Leaving things to law of situation. Active power. Control should be pluralistic. Responsibility pluralistic. If you actually look at the points that I have wrote, what is क्या साबित हो रहा है यहां पर? 20 मार्क के लिए they have actually asked Paule's entire ideas. Dynamic administration में Paule's ideas क्या है? And I told you each and every time one point there, which is what dynamic situation के लिए what Paule suggested we can agree with. नया सिचुएशन है, जिनको सॉल्यूशन मालूम है वो करेगा काम, सिंपल. या फिर जो जिम्मेदारी उठाना चाहते हैं उठाने दो उसे. 26/11 attack, Constable Omble, sorry, ASI Omble, Tukaram Omble, he ran towards the bullets, right? He ran towards capturing Ajmal Kasab. He didn't receive any formal order from the top. He took upon the responsibility. Neither did the seniors stop him, because us raat everybody were working together. Co-active power. Power with, not power over. Getting the point? So that raat, it worked. Then, apart from this, ISRO. Again, Naya project, naya idea, always power with. So in most of the dynamic administration situation, his idea will work. But we have to critically evaluate. Constructive conflict will not work where one party is not ready to listen. Best example, 3 farm bills. There was nothing constructive about that conflict there. It was ultimately, finally, what? Compromise. Law of situation. Most of the time it will work. The situation will demand it. But the point is, maybe because of the demand of the situation, it will have other repercussions. COVID-19, we went for a lockdown, right? Because that was the law of the situation. We went for a lockdown. Lekin, lockdown was imposed by what? By domination. As a result of which, migrant laborers were affected. Co-active power. Now sharing the power. Will that always work out? Again, the answer is no. Why? In a conflict-like situation, say for example, right now in Manipur, can we have right now co-active power? Especially where Kukis and Meiteis are fighting against each other? Absolutely not. Control should be kept pluralistic and cumulative. Again, not possible when it comes to matters of security. That is why we had to finally take out Article 370 was abrogated. Jammu and Kashmir completely made it a union territory. Take law and order is also under the central government's control. Defense is also under the central government's control. Practical responsibility. Ultimately, matters like defense, internal security, all these are the responsibility of the center. This cannot be neither shared with the state nor shared with the local bodies. This center only should have the ultimate control. That means power over. तो कुछ मामलों में ठीक है, सही है, कुछ मामलों में नहीं है. As you can clearly see, by the time you write all of this easily, you will be able to generate 4-page worth content. That is what I told you yesterday. 20 मार्क का सवाल लिखना आसान है. क्यों आसान है? Because everything is, it will be very elaborate. It will be very elaborate. Now, as you can clearly see, I did not simply dump the information of Foley. I specifically used words from the question itself. Critically evaluate Foley's idea of dynamic administration. As far as dynamic administration is concerned, she gave the following ideas. But it has certain limits. So, and I gave example. So, yahan par I gave example of ISRO. Correct? Then 26/11. Makes sense? Lekin, दूसरी तरफ, in the other dynamic situations, we can clearly see it did not work. There actually what worked was domination, compromise, power over than power with. तो दूसरे situations में what actually works in dynamic administration is जो भी चीज फॉले गलत कहा वही actually काम के लिए आ रहा है. And why did I give A, B, C, D, E? Why? Whenever you critically evaluate also, हर point जो आपने support करते हुए लिखा था, उसी point का दूसरा angle क्या है? Constructive conflict not possible always. Best example, 3 farm bills. Law of situation not possible always because we went for domination during COVID-19 lockdown. Coactive power not possible always, especially in the case of Manipur, Kukis and Meiteis conflict. Control should be pluralistic, again not possible because pluralistic control did not work in J&K. That is why we dissolved the state. We removed Article 370 and made it a union territory. Then, Matt, responsibility also should be pluralistic. In some cases, defense, internal security, etc., we cannot give it to the state or local bodies. It has to be from the top, controlled by the center. Finally, conclude your answer. And what is the conclusion we will give? Again, Foley's ideas were a product of her times. She never differentiated between private and public. In fact, she gave her ideas which were, even though sitting in classical era, she gave ideas which actually belong to the human relations era. End. Any questions, people? This is why reading the paper becomes very, very important, because your knowledge of current affairs matters a lot here. You need to actually validate with current affair example. Conflict is the appearance of differences, the difference of opinion and of interest. Mary Parker Foley comment. Now look at the beauty. 2015 में 20 marks के लिए they had asked about conflict. Correct. 2000, लेकिन यहां पर 20 मार्क के लिए पूछा था. अब कितने मार्क के लिए पूछ रहे हैं? 10 मार्क के लिए. Mary Parker Foley said it. Doesn't mean you have to write about Mary Parker Foley. So यहां पर आप क्या करोगे? इंट्रो में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्या है, बॉडी में क्लासिकल एरा थिंकर्स कॉन्फ्लिक्ट का सिर्फ एक ही वजह था, वो क्या था? लैक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर, ऑर्डर, डिसिप्लिन, है ना? That is why they all gave a structure. Woodrow Wilson से लेकर everybody talked about having a proper structure, proper system, everything. Solution क्या था इसका? सबने क्या solution दे दिया? पैसा दे दो, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट खत्म. So Taylor gave his idea of mental revolution. ह्यूमन रिलेशंस एरा कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बारे में क्या कहा? कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्यों होगा एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में? बिकॉज ऑफ नॉट गिविंग इंपॉर्टेंस टू इनफॉर्मल रिलेशंस. इनफॉर्मल रिलेशंस को आप ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं. यू डोंट हैव अ सपोर्टिव सुपरवाइजर, देन यू विल हैव कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. तो उसके लिए क्या करना है? एंकरेज इनफॉर्मल ग्रुप्स. करेक्ट. So, difference of opinion and of interest. True. In the classical era, it was all about पैसों के, it was lack of a structure and all the solution was with money. Conflict in the HR era, human relations era, it was about informal group. Informal relations नहीं थे, supervisor थे. When you come to Bernard, it was to do with what? Zone of indifference. Bernard and Simon. Zone of indifference, zone of acceptance, and contribution, satisfaction, equilibrium. यहां पर क्या है? एक जनरल लेवल ऑफ एक्सेप्टेंस भी है, दैट इज बोथ आर देयर. पैसे भी है, money is also there, plus Informal groups is also there. What did Paule say here? Paule said conflict can be made constructive, क्योंकि every organization में conflict will be there, and that too how? Through integration. From 1, 2, 3, 4. What can we conclude? Conflict is not just about opinion and interest alone. It can be beyond that. Conflict can arise because of a lack of structure, not just of ideas or interest. Ideas or interest means यहाँ पर money, यहाँ पर idea है informal group. That much is true. That is also there. But in addition to that, it can be other things beyond that. Lack of integration, lack of informal groups, lack of money. Getting the point here? So it can be anything. Conflict itself, if you see, is a very subjective topic. Doubt. Answer is over. Got the beauty here. So always keep this in mind. Who said this? That is secondary. This is what we have to comment on. Give your comment. I know I have told you support करके लिखो, oppose करके लिखो. यहाँ पर support और oppose, again like I told you, depends on the type of question also. यहाँ पर उसे oppose करने के लिए क्या रखा है? Conflict, every conflict starts from an idea first, an opinion, an interest. इतना तो पक्का है. Any conflict you talk, टेररिज्म ले लो, नक्सलिज्म ले लो, इट ऑल स्टार्ट्स विद एन आइडिया फर्स्ट. एक सोच से शुरू हो रहे हैं. वी आर ओके विद इट, वी एग्री विद इट. along with that you have other factors also. Clear? You add it up, finally you end the answer by telling that conflict itself is a very subjective topic and it will keep varying according to the time period, according to the era it will vary. So today's conflict, what it is, latest conflict, AI related it is. It is a dilemma that is happening now. Should we adopt AI or not? The dangers of AI. This is creating a conflict within organization, between organizations also. End it. 10 mark. Khatam baat. Any doubts, people? Mary Parker Polley traced the foundational value of business and enterprise on her way to understand the organism of governmental machinery. Comment 15 marks 2019. Again, traced the foundational value of business and enterprise on her way to understand the organism of government machinery. बिजनेस की फाउंडेशन मेरी पार्कर पोले को समझ में आ गया जब वो गवर्नमेंट को पढ़ने के लिए निकले. वंस अगेन, बिजनेस वैल्यू के फाउंडेशन क्या होना चाहिए ये उन्हें समझ में आ गया जब वो गवर्नमेंट को पढ़ने के लिए निकले. कमेंट करो इसके ऊपर. अगेन व्हाट इट इज, व्हाट शुड बी द फाउंडेशन? So according to her, again, intro, कौन था MPF, body, what should be the foundational value of business and enterprise, She regarded it to be integration, law of situation, although then her ideas on responsibility, control, coactive power, vertical and horizontal communication. And she did not differentiate between private and public. She understood all these should be the foundation. This is what she understood. All right. So, but what is our understanding? The fact of the matter is, this is what she traced as should be the foundational value. But practically, बहुत सारा दिक्कत है. Why? She did not conduct any experiments on it. Law of situation will create confusion. Responsibility and control cannot be cumulative. It has to be fixed. In the contemporary era, coactive power will not work everywhere. Coercive power, be it in government, be it in business. Vertical and horizontal communication. Horizontal communication is not a bad idea, but as much as possible, all sorts of communication should be kept formal. So whatever our understanding was not entirely correct. That is why even today even though she is praised for her ideas, even though she belonged to a classical era, she was largely her ideas are largely criticized to be of grandmotherly wisdom. End of the story. As you can clearly see, the core remains the same. It is not that the answer will keep changing. Answer एक ही चीज है. Lekin you cannot simply write. Foley gave us the following ideas: integration, law of situation. That way you cannot write. You will have to use what? Foley, according to Foley, the foundational value of business and enterprises should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in contemporary times, the problem is she did not conduct much social experiments to validate integration. Her law of situation will only create confusion. Her idea of cumulative responsibility and control is against the concept of fixing accountability. Coactive power will not work in real life. To enforce discipline and order, you need coercive power or domination. Having informal communication, even though seems like a good idea, ultimately what really matters for the efficiency of any organization is proper formal communication. Clear? Same points only, but presented differently. Then why is UPSC asking it all this manner? Two reasons here. One, anybody who reads this, the first thing what will happen is they'll go into a shock. अरे ये क्या है? Sir did not teach us anything about organism and all. This foundational value, ये क्या है ये सब? गया man, ये attempt भी गया. The calm one, they'll just read it. Okay, मेरी पार्कर फोले को जो भी बिजनेस के बारे में जो भी उनका फाउंडेशनल आइडियाज था वो उन्हें समझ में आ गया जब वो गवर्नमेंटल मिशनरी पढ़ने के लिए निकले थे. ठीक है, तो उन्हें क्या समझ में आ गया था? क्या ये सही है? नो, बिकॉज नेदर दिस विल वर्क इन गवर्नमेंट नॉर इट विल वर्क इन प्राइवेट. 2-3 एग्जाम्पल भी डाल दो सुटेबली. यहां पर इसे सपोर्ट करते हुए यू कैन गिव ISRO, ओपोज करते हुए यू कैन गिव द countless examples what I already gave you here. And here lies the beauty. If you look at the 20 marks here and the 15 marks here, sawal is almost the same. Answer is almost the same. This is also the reason why I'm going on telling you to start writing the PYQs. क्योंकि लिखते लिखते क्या होना चाहिए, दैट आइडियाज और द थॉट प्रोसेस ऑफ द थिंकर should come to you immediately. Clear, people? Any doubts here? Any doubts? Any questions? Lipika, I understand that decoding problem, it is not isolated with public administration, mind you. Now, many people will do that. Many have done that also in the last batch, earlier batch also. जैसे ही syllabus खत्म होने वाला है, they will say, PubAd is very difficult, I'm changing my option. I will tell them, please change. What they are not doing is, again, ये जो 3 students मेरे ख्याल से ऐसे optional बदल दिया था. एक भी दिन they didn't write a single answer. एक भी दिन, one day also, that is, see, now that I have at least discussed these questions, मैंने discuss भी किया है, तो आप क्या कर सकते हैं यहां पर, मैंने जो डिस्कस किया है कम से कम वो लिखकर भेजो. पॉइंट्स मैंने लिखा है, मेन पॉइंट, मेन व्हाट इज द कीवर्ड्स, कम से कम वो तो लिखो. बिकॉज आई एम टेलिंग दिस टू यू, नो ऑप्शनल इज इजी. No optional has a small syllabus. No optional is out there which is scoring. It all comes down to 2 things. कितना effort आप डालने के लिए तैयार हो, आप कितना interest है आपको वो subject पढ़ने में. These are the only 2 things that matter. So effort is what really matters here. You may like the faculty, you may like the teaching style, you may be interested. ठीक है. But if you don't write the PYQ, you don't practice it, you don't get exposed to the UPSC language, you're not going to clear any optional. Forget optional, you won't even clear GS paper. Because GS paper also these days, if you see, they are not at all easy. They are like comment question and all. By the time you understand ये बार यहाँ पर क्या लिखना है, वक्त निकल कर जाएगा. लेकिन विद द थिंकर बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, कम से कम यू शुड रिमेंबर वन थिंग, हाँ भाई, वॉट एवर इट इज, वो थिंकर के मेन टॉपिक्स के ऊपर ही मुझे लिखना है. दैट मच क्लैरिटी यू विल हैव. द रेस्ट इज व्हाट, टेक suitable words from the question, make it as your subheading and then write. The key is answer writing. GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, essay optional. सबका सब. Because I'm telling you, the future is going to be like that. Prelims और mains के बीच ज्यादा फर्क नहीं होगा. That means from the day of starting your prelims preparation, in my generation and all people who had done that, that is prelims की तैयारी के वक्त, they will join the class for this thing, optional also. No, sorry, they won't join. Prelims खत्म होने के बाद, they will join the optional class. Then they have cleared it. Why? Gap was there. 3 से लेकर 4 महीने के आसपास gap was there. Now that gap is also going to become history. UPSC is going to ensure that mains also becomes very, very tough. Mains will be only cleared by those people who have already done 2013 से सारा PYQs of all the 4 GS, essay and optional, जो पहले से ही ये सब खत्म कर किया है, पूरा जवाब लिख लिया है, प्रैक्टिस किया है, only this person is going to clear. I will write it and give it to you. Only they will clear. Test series and all, people will say, shall I join this test series, that test series? Test series later. Test series is only good if you have completed this exercise. वरना टेस्ट सीरीज लिखकर कोई फायदा नहीं है. अदर देन इंप्रूविंग योर राइटिंग स्पीड, इट विल नॉट इंप्रूव एनीथिंग. Getting the point? So make it a habit. That is why I'm giving you the platform here in the Telegram channel. I don't think any other faculty, to the best of my knowledge, no other optional faculty is doing that also. Why? Because I am teaching you PubAd very well. Great. You may write a brilliant answer for PubAd. Like in GS 1, 2, 3, 4 and essay, if you screw up, what is the whole point? You're never going to get your interview call. That is the only reason I've been telling from day one, answers liquor bejo. Make it a habit. Now you can do it. Later stage, you won't get the time. जितना हो पा रहा है, एटलीस्ट एक सवाल एक दिन या 2 दिन ले लो एक सवाल के लिए. पढ़ो, then लिखो. Prepare well and then write. Clear, people? See, I know for the people who have joined in this November, December season, it is a little tricky only. I don't deny it. And that is not just for you. It is a universal problem. All India level problem it is. People who join in that November, December, they have to actually put in lot more efforts. Because on one side their optional will be going, in another side their prelims related preparation will be going. They will have to put more efforts. There is no other choice here. यहाँ पर कोई वहां पर negotiation, sir, then can we do like this? Nothing. At least you should try. At least you should try to interpret the question. Okay, ये सवाल का मतलब maybe this is what it is. Let me try to write at least a few points for it. You will have to put more effort. Other than that, no other choice. Foley firmly advocated for cultivating interdependence and collaboration among individuals as the key to resolving conflicts and establishing more harmonious and all-encompassing social structures. Discussed 20 March 2023. As you can clearly see, again a repeat. Again repeated thing. पूरा का पूरा क्या है? Interdependence, collaboration, मतलब integration among individuals as the key to resolving conflicts and establishing more harmonious and encompassing social structures. सबको मिलाकर. Encompassing मतलब law of situation, integration, cumulative control, cumulative responsibility, coactive power, power with rather than power over. Sabka sab. And what it is? Discuss. That means the same points what we wrote here. Same thing. Supporting it, her ideas, opposing her ideas, because it's a discuss question. Likho, khatam baat. Zyada se zyada, this is how the thinker's questions will come. With paper 1, always remember. With paper 1, always remember, you write the theory with current affair validation. Current affair से जोड़ना पड़ेगा यहाँ पर. This is the strategy for paper 1. Paper 2 में, I don't know how many of you have seen the question paper. Paper 2 ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा you will get current affair based question. तो वहां पर current affair with theory from paper 1 validation. That is what you should do. वो करंट अफेयर को आप एक्सप्लेन करोगे पेपर 1 के थियरी के साथ. दैट विल बिकम मोर क्लियर व्हेन वी टेक अ पेपर 2. Decentralization, democracy. See, that is the point. So, here you will write first supporting the statement. Why Foley's ideas are relevant. You will write about Gram Sabha. All that you can write here. Because Gram Sabha is a very strong body in our country. दूसरे तरफ आप क्या लिखोगे? Why it is not possible in every situation. Same pattern what you wrote for the first question. That is why I am telling you questions repeat. In optional questions repeat. तो एक बार अगर लिख लिया तो वो याद रहेगा आपको. Once if you write it, you will be like, Foley आया तो ये लिखना है मुझे और कुछ भी नहीं. So, taking the words from the question and then delivering Foley. That is how I should do it. Question को twist करो मेरे theory को suit करने के लिए. That is what I will do. So question, say words uthakar, I will explain the theory. Simple. With current affairs. Baat khatam. So this I am leaving it to you. This is the way to do it. Clear, people? So with that, we come to an end of today's discussion. The next set of thinkers will be taking it up on Monday. Tomorrow you won't have a class. Okay, a personal work tomorrow. So tomorrow you won't have a class, people. Any further queries or doubts are there, please put it up in the Telegram channel.